This one's for Gemini sun, moon, and specifically rising, as this new moon will be in your 10th house of career, reputation, and public image. So, new moons is about new goals, new intentions, planting new seeds and things. A new moon in Pisces is about bringing in that new beginning, but also closing an old chapter as it is the last sign of the zodiac. So, we will be closing the full chapter of the wood snake. The astrological new year of the wood snake is coming to an end. We have almost nearly fully shedded ourselves, okay? The old identities and personas that were on us from the year prior. We are not we have worked through what works and what doesn't, and what will be brought into this new beginning as we start Aries season, which will be the start of the fire horse, guys. I know I've already told y'all, if y'all grasping and holding on to things from the past, you will be dragged, stomped on, and trampled. Okay, so it's best that you just let it all go and just fall in line to your purpose and your true alignment. Okay, so with that being said, and this being in your 10th house, you get to make new rules, I guess. Ultimately, Pisces new moon, this is bringing in, or it is actually telling you, allow yourself to surrender. There's things that are going to reemerge and resurface for you, and this is not the time to react, but just to observe, and see what dissolves in front of you and what actually appears in front of you. So however that is happening, this isn't really a time to take action and reflect. Take action and react, but more of reflecting and surrendering to the process as things just kind of naturally come to a closure for you in this area. So, without further ado, I want to say if there's anything more. I'm talking to Gemini. So Mercury is still running amok. Your ruling planet is still is still going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in Pisces. Okay, and so this will be happening during this new moon, but Mercury will be stationing back retrograde on the 20th, I believe. Just right after we enter Aries season. So everything's just going to come back online for us again in Aries season. Our minds, our bodies, and our spirits will all come into alignment just in time for the fire horse. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Even though Mercury will be stationed direct in a few days, the post shadow period of it will be kind of lingering around for the rest of March. So we're not totally out of the clear yet, but we will gain some clarity. Okay. There's some other things that are going on with this new moon. I'm not going to get too much into the astrology of it. It's happening close enough near you though, but how this shows up for you, if you want to look at your personal chart with me, I would love to do that, but I'm not going to get into it right now for two reasons. One, I don't want to run this 444 on the clock. I don't want to run this over time because I've been doing pretty decent with time. And the second thing, speaking of Mercury retrograde, that's when technology and communication gets all wonky and stuff like that. And there's so many misinterpretations, miscommunication, misinformation like that comes out. But with that, guys, the site that I use to graph all this out for each zodiac, it is not working. They're going through some type of maintenance right now because they've had an over plague of bots or something like that on their system, and so they're only having certain things. Really, it's really not a lot of it. It's just like certain things is on display, but when it actually comes to, you know, drawing up charts, I can't do it on there. So I'm doing this by my hearts and by my knowledge of like the wheel and stuff like that. So I can only give you as much information as where this is falling in your charts for you. And again, this is 555 on the clock about your career, reputation, and public image. So I saw 444, 555. 444 is divine protection and guidance, and 555 is change. Change, change, change. Okay, so let's get a card for you. We got magic. Let's see if we can get one more card. And past life. Got some past life magic going on. I wouldn't doubt it. Pisces rules over past life, spiritual realm, ancestors, inheritance, but not like the money kind, but like the gifts, the spiritual gifts, generational gifts, and excuse me, just generational being, yeah, just generational stuff. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Anyway, past life magic, and then we have talisman at the bottom of the deck, which is like a key, an opening to something. You may unlock something, you may unlock some past life magic here, because that's really what I was kind of going with that, with the generational gifts. I was trying to refrain from saying generational curses and blockages and stuff like that, although this is where the 12th house, or excuse me, Pisces, which rules over the 12th house, but this that's where Pisces energy can come from as well. You can notice particular types of cycles and patterns and things like that from past life, or that you have inherited throughout your family tree, stuff like that. So I feel like, but with this past life magic and a key, bruh, you're unlocking some type of ancient magic. You're unlocking some type of ancient magic right here, okay? I like that. You might become some type of spiritual influencer, or not influencer, but advisor or something like that. Unlocking this past life. We got 7 of Wands and 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. So 7 of Wands is here about sticking up for yourself, upholding boundaries, and just sticking up basically for what you believe in. 7 is the number of faith and belief. But 8 of Pentacles is saying that you've been overworked, you're like burnt out, underappreciated, undervalued, or you give up on working. You've tried to take like the easy way out of working through things. You're not putting the work in. You don't want to work with it. You have your guard up around something that you don't want to work with. This is in your 10th house of career. So like something in the workplace just didn't work out. You always had to be on the defense. You always had to have your guard up in regards to this job or what you were working for, what you were building. The Chariot is here as that divine guidance. This is about progressing forward with divine guidance and protection. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer, but it rules over the protection of the home. And if you're in the chariot, it's a mode of transportation. It's like a car, but it's there to protect you and get you exactly where you need to be. It's an unstoppable force, pushing forward here. Okay. And whatever you're moving forward in life, you have to integrate the light and the darkness to progress forward. Otherwise, it just will be imbalanced and it won't work. You'll shift to one direction or the other because you're operating out of one frequency or the other. So there's a need to find a sense of balance. 8 is about balance. So there's a need to work on integrating that light and that dark so that you can have a clear so you can have some clear momentum as you progress forward. Okay, let's get some clarity for this past life. The Strength card in the reverse. 7 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So going from 8 of Pentacles to 7 of Pentacles, something just like popped up in my mind that you're taking one step backwards, or you're starting back at step or square one or something like that. That just popped up. 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So there's a feeling of defeat here. Like you're standing up for something, you're holding up guard for something, sticking up for what you believe in, but it has you feeling defeated. It has you feeling defeated, but you're continuing to work forward through the trials and tribulations. But I mean, there's really no, besides the top of the card, it says failure. And that's kind of misleading on what the 7 of Pentacles really interprets. It really interprets growth, patience, development, because it's about a person tending to their garden without actual guarantee that they will get a harvest at the end of it, because you just never know. You got to go through trial and error to see what works to make your garden thrive and flourish, right? 9 of Cups here. 9 of Cups is about a wish fulfillment, but in the reverse, see, it says happiness at the top. You fulfilled you're self-satisfied, self-fulfilled, and you've possibly even fulfilled some type of wish or achievement of success all for yourself. And in the reverse, there's a feeling of either you got what you wanted or what you thought you wanted, what you thought would emotionally fulfill you, and that wasn't the case, or you again got what you felt would emotionally fulfill you, but you're not grateful enough in the energy of it. It wasn't meant to fulfill you. It was meant to, even especially with the Strength card here, it was meant to validate you externally, like give you external validation and stuff like that. When you don't find the strength within yourself, you are trying to seek it outward within other people. When you don't have the ability to authentically express yourself without shame, you're expressing yourself for validation of other people. That's what the Strength card is in the reverse. So it seems like you're just learning through trial and error here with the 7 of Pentacles here as well. You're just trying to see what works for you in the means of tending to your garden. You're figuring out that wherever you water is wherever the grass is greener. So it doesn't really matter which side you're on, but how well are you taking care of it and putting in the effort and the consistency and building and nourishing. I was going to say we have 3 sevens here. The Chariot is number 7, 7 of Wands, and 7 of Pentacles, 777, which is about luck, but also about an intention and faith. Okay, 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. What you're probably not conscious of is that there's like an egotistical struggle or fight to compete, or there's just like a lot of conflicting energies, conflicting like egos for sure. Too many cooks in the kitchen, too many opinions, too many people trying to make a decision or, figure something out. But what I just noticed is that, oh, wait, this is 7. So not totally. I was going to say 5 of Wands, but this is 7 of Wands. So I kind of take that back. But I was going to say, look how like there's like 6 different people trying to come at this one person as they're sticking up for themselves. I was going to say that could have been, usually 5 of Wands has at least like 5 people in there, but it's still about that competition. It's still trying that conflicting energy, butting heads, just clashing, right? Okay. But you're progressing. You just have to learn through the trials and errors. You just need to continue to practice that patience within your efforts and having and maintaining those intentions within your efforts, so you can figure out what's gonna grow for you. You find success after your failure. No, there's like a better saying about that. But ultimately, after so many failures, you know what does not work ultimately. And then you can only continue to try new things to see what does work. And you just will know what doesn't. So going forward with magic, we got the numbers 31, 14, and the number 3, by the way. Magic. Page of Swords in the reverse. Ooh-wee. 8 of Wands. The High Priestess. Look, there's that 7 of Pentacles. It's in the reverse though here. But look, he's looking down, tending to a garden. He looks a little bored. He looks a little unmotivated because he's not fully certain if things are working out for him. But that's not for him to know in that moment. That's just to see what he's gained in out of it. What have you learned from it? Have you learned that what type of soil, or like where are you planting your seeds? Have you learned what type of nutrients this particular seed needs versus this other group? And the only reason that I just channeled that right now is because there's literally, there's like 6 here, but then there's 1 here. There, like, I guess maybe this 1 here doesn't have or doesn't need the same nutrients that those ones need. I don't know. Take it however you resonate. But ultimately, it's just trying to tending to your garden to give it the necessary efforts it needs. So let's get into this. What came out for magic is I'm noticing the High Priestess. So there's like some intuitive nudges here for you. Your intuition is speaking to you. This is actually a Pisces and Cancer card, and Cancer has showed up earlier with the moon, which is all about intuition and emotion. But The High Priestess is Piscean energy as well, and just connecting to that inner knowing, that inner, that higher knowing, your higher self, your intuition. And it seems like I'm happy to see it in the upright because it says that you're open. Why did I want to say your mind's eye is open? But it has to be like you're gaining some type of knowledge, you're gaining some type of magic here. So what came out actually is the Page of Swords in the reverse, the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So again, the Seven of Pentacles, with it being in the reverse, is that lack of motivation, that boredom, that procrastination, that feeling like things aren't working out the way that it should be, or it isn't progressing in the way that it should be, and in the way that you want. It's a slight mode of self-sabotage, because you're just, it's kind of like a waiting for the paint to dry instead of just moving on and to trying something different. But you can't keep re-digging up the same seeds and stuff like that. You have to let it go through its own process. But you can go work in another space to see what works for you over there. And Page of Swords. Page of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords is normally about inquiring new information, exploring new perspectives and things, and taking approaches to conversations that they don't really have all of the knowledge for, but you just want to gain some type of knowledge from it, like some type of critical thinking from it. It can be also about like problem solving as well. But when it is in the reverse, it gets kind of sketchy. It could be about misinformation, like spreading some type of misinformation, but it gets really talky. Like they ain't minding their business kind of talk. But either way, it also is that closed-mindedness as well, being closed-minded to new perspectives and new knowledge, and just coming up with your own conclusions of things without having like firm evidence or experience and knowledge of the situation. The Knight of Swords, though, speaks about, so okay, we got swords and wands. So that's how I'm gonna read it, okay? So you lack the knowledge of something, lack the clarity or the open-mindedness of something, yet you're exerting yourself in a particular way. This is about asserting your ideas, communicating, going forward, and word travels quick. So that's why he's like rushing in and stuff like that. So word travels quick because you asserted yourself with this experience, with this knowledge. The Knights are about messengers, or the Knights are messengers. The Pages, they're in some sort of way a messenger, but they're there to just kind of experience it for the first time. They're novices. They don't have much experience in their element. The Knight is the one step up that has a little bit more, experience, but doesn't, but if whatever information they're getting is coming from this page, then it doesn't seem like it's correct. That's what I'm getting from that. So, this isn't wands. Excuse me. This is Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, but he's like leaning on a wand. But anyway, I'm still gonna read it for what it is. Eight of Wands is about momentum. It's about pushing forward, that energy, that drive, that ambition. But it can also be about messages and downloads and like things coming all at you at once. And it can be very overwhelming or overstimulating because so many things are coming at you at the same exact time. And it's kind of like this energy here. This is 7 of Wands. This is 8 of Wands. At some point, you decide, okay, I'm just going to go with the crowd. You're like, if you can't beat them, join them. And so things are just kind of like moving very fast for you, around you. So energy, there's a lot of energy like surrounding you right now. And it's just moving you forward. There seems to be a focus for sure. There seemed to be a focus. There seemed to be momentum, passion, creativity, like moving forward and stuff like that. But there's still like that sense of boredom. That sense of boredom for, honestly, again, as this is the Pentacles, it's about more earthly matters, but it's more of that, like the mundane stuff. The mundane stuff that you have to do every day to, water yourself, water your garden, keep the grass green there, the efforts and stuff that you have to put in. But you seem to be moving full ahead with your ideas, your expressions within this magical realm, okay? Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Again, that's a message, some type of offering up, opening up some type of offer of better consistency in your emotional needs. So better tending to your emotional needs and keeping some type of consistency so that you can build repertoire for emotional depth as well. So there's the magic. There's the magic in it all. So let's clarify. So I feel like a lot of things is coming at you at once, but you need to be careful of any type of misinformation that is coming to you as well. And make sure wherever it's coming from is not coming from people who are just like sitting around waiting to be saved either. They're actually putting in work. They're not just bored and procrastinating on what they need to do. So I feel like there's like some emotional availability coming in, but also some type of new ideas and stuff coming in. But there's a need to learn, like, decipher between some type of discernment. The High Priestess. 2-on-2. The High Priestess. So yes, learning or using your discernment and your intuition to move you forward. That is going to be what's going to help you be so magical right now. 9 of Pentacles came out. We have 7, 8, 2 7s, 8, 9 of Pentacles, and they're all in the reverse. But 9 of Pentacles is about self-wealth, independent security within the self. In the reverse, it just points to insecurity. It points to lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence, lack of security within self. So there's possibly an inner knowing here that you have this lack mindset, or you're just not grateful for what it is. You're not grateful, or you're taking advantage for what it is that is around you right now, what you are surrounding yourself around right now. Because, I mean, 9 is about self-achievement. And with Pentacles, you achieve some type of you achieve some type of stability. But if you're not actually grateful for what it is that you built around you, then you're not appreciating it. So it's depreciating on its own. You've devalued it, or you've devalued yourself. Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck is in the reverse. So there's again another feeling of being burnt out, being so mentally burnt out that now it's even affecting you physically. Four is about stability, and Four Swords in the reverse is mental stability, or in the reverse is mental instability. So there's a need to find some grounding in your mental realm, kind of clear out space, find some peace, meditate, find some stillness, find a way to clear your mind, restabilize your mind here. It's throwing you off balance. It's throwing you off center. You can't even start new chapters. You can't create new chapters for yourself because you're stuck. Or there's too many things stuck within your mind. It has you feel paralyzed. Analysis paralysis. Ooh, ain't that the diablo? That's why you're stuck in a very low frequency right now. That's why things aren't working out. That's why you have momentum here. You have a push, you have a drive, but that it also can be like multiple things coming at you at once. So take it however it resonates. And ultimately, you have the key to opening new doors. Didn't I say grounded? Did I say grounded? Oh, that was probably for somebody else. I said there's a grounded card here. That was for somebody else. Taurus. They had the Earth card. But I felt a lot of grounding energy from that. So whatever it is, you need to ground yourself within this inner knowing. You need to accept this inner knowing. It's here, double time. You know it. Let's connect the spirit with the mind and the body. There's possibly a disconnect from the mind because you haven't fully experienced it. You haven't been fully taken in all the new knowledge that it is resurfacing for you. But you still managed to push forward. But I do need to mention that this night is going to the past. So you're pushing forward with past knowledge without gaining new clarity. So you're just repurposing old knowledge, reframing old knowledge, when there's a possibility you need to be just gaining new. I'll leave that there. If this is resonating for you or you would like to dig deeper, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Libra Baby Doll. But I will be ending this with some further insights. See what comes out for you. Interesting read. Interesting read, but I feel like there's a lot of movement. Even though I'm only seeing two major arcanas, and that's literally both the two high priestesses here. Or, excuse me, three, with the strength card here. Even though there's only like three major arcanas here, I do feel a strong sense that there's things happening on the spiritual realm, but you have them on speed dial. So there's a need to tap into that. Give them a ring on that highlight bling, because like they got something to show you, to teach you, to guide you with. So let's see what further insights comes out. We have air sign. Speaking of Gemini, so a fellow Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, we have honeymoon, going through a honeymoon phase or attending someone's wedding. We have yes. The answer is yes. Luck is on your side. If you have a yes or no question, the answer is yes. Open your heart. It will help you attract more love. Someone else, someone is in the middle. Someone is trying to sabotage this. So be careful of someone else, third party situation. Cycles, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. Funny enough, we have the no card. So if you had another question on your mind, the answer is no. But ultimately, as confusing as this may sound, you know what you're saying yes to, and you know what you're saying no to. So, at the bottom of the deck, you may not know, but at the bottom of the deck, move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time. It's over. So move on with that knowledge. And open up your heart, but open up your mind as well. Stay receptive to new knowledge, to new insights. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. Once again, if this reading resonated for you or you like to dig deeper, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Libra Baby Doll.